Question number 6. Construction of a 3-set Venn diagram with specific information. Now, before I continue, let's just scroll back up real quick to take a screenshot, or rather, it's a snippet of when we had general information. If you notice, when it comes to general information, we had a lot of subtracting from the intersections to find the individual pieces. When it comes to the next question, we're given a lot of specific pieces and we're going to use it to find general pieces. The three most dangerous risk factors for heart attacks are high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and smoking. Now remember, we want to read this list from bottom to top. And because we know we have to draw a Venn diagram and answer the following questions, and we have 3 categories, which is high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and smoking, this will be a 3-circle Venn diagram. And a survey of 690 total heart attack survivors, these are the following. 370 with high cholesterol among the 3 risk factors. 62 only had high cholesterol, 36 only smoking, and 93 only high blood pressure. As you can see, those are very specific. Now read this next part. 93 only had high blood pressure. I think I read that already. 159 with high blood pressure and cholesterol that didn't smoke. So that's 2 of the categories, but excluding the third. This is different from general information because the last question, when we had 2 categories, we did not exclude the third. 23 that smoked and had high cholesterol, but did not have high blood pressure. So they had 2 of the 3 risk factors, but excluding the third. And finally, 585 had at least 1 risk factor. Let's first start constructing the Venn diagram with 3 circles. So draw your box, which is the entire universal set. Circle 1, circle 2, could be better, circle 3. Okay, we have blood pressure. We have cholesterol. And then we have smoking. And we have a total of 690 survivors. Okay. The question says, how many had all 3 risk factors? How many had exactly 2 of the 3 risk factors? How many had none? All right. Read from bottom to top. Finally, 585 had at least 1 risk factor. The word at least 1 risk factor. I'm gonna go over here. At least 1. The word at least means that is the minimum. The minimum is 1 risk factor. So this equals to minimum of 1. If the minimum is 1, that also equals to having 1 or more. We only have 3 risk factors, so it can't be higher than 3. But if it's one or more, that equals to 1 factor or 2 factors or, write that a little bit better, 3 factors. And I'm going to highlight this part right here in yellow. So when we see the word at least one, that means one or more, one or greater. We're going to see that later on in the semester as well. So 1 risk factor or 2 risk factors or 3 risk factors. This right here is 1 risk factor, 1 risk factor, 1 risk factor. These here are 2 risk factors. And the intersection is 3 risk factors. So when you see the word at least one when it comes to a Venn diagram question, at least one represents the sum of the circles. Sum of circles. So therefore, the total of these circles is going to equal to 585. So if we know that the sum of the circles is 585, and we have 690 survivors in total, that means the remaining falls outside of the circles. The remaining amount have none of the 3 risk factors. So to find none, you're going to subtract 690 minus 585 equals to 105. And this goes right here. And we also find the answer to C, 105 survivors. I'll just put 105 right there. Once again, the sum of the circles is 585. We have a total of 690 survivors, which means if we subtract the 585 from 690, 105 of those survivors had none of those risk factors. Keep this in mind. We're going to be coming back to the 585 in the end. 23 that smoked and had high cholesterol, but did not have high blood pressure. It's right here. This part right here is cholesterol, smoking, and not high blood pressure. So that is 23. Zoom a little bit better. This is 2 of the 3 categories, but you excluded the other one. $159 smoked and had high cholesterol. Sorry, 159 had high blood pressure and cholesterol that didn't smoke. High blood pressure, high cholesterol, but did not smoke. That is only this section right here. So only that section is the 159. If you notice, we're not including the intersection of the 3 in this case because we're excluding the 3rd category. $93 only had high blood pressure. Because it's only high blood pressure, this 93 can go right here, which is only high blood pressure. 36 only had smoking. So we put 36 right here for only smoking. 62 only had high cholesterol. So we put that right here because that is only high cholesterol. 370 with high cholesterol among the 3 risk factors. See, that is different from only high cholesterol. That is general. It's saying 370 survivors in general had high cholesterol. I'll find a nice color for this one. We'll put it in this beige pink, whatever that's called. So that means that the total for high cholesterol is 370. So I'm going to go up here. So 370 in total. But inside of the high cholesterol circle, we have 159, 62, and 23. We can add those numbers together and then subtract that from 370. This equals to, when I add it, let's go over here. $244. Therefore, to find the missing piece, subtract 244 from 370. 370 minus 244. That should be 126, but let me double check. That is 126. And that's the missing piece. 126 goes right here in the middle. That 126 goes in the middle of all 3. Therefore, we can answer A. How many survivors had all 3? 126. And now we have one piece of information left. The part with the star. Blood pressure and smoking, but not high cholesterol. How can we find that? Remember, the sum of the circles is 585. And we have every piece filled inside of our circles except for the part with the star. So that means we can add up every number inside of our circles and subtract it from 585. So we're going to add 93 with 159, with 62, 126, 23, and 36. I want to rewrite that 23. It looks like a 25 to me from far away. That should be better. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I'm a little bit lazy. I know the cholesterol circle is 370. So I'm going to add that with just the 93 and the 36. You get 499. So this equals to 499. And when you add up all these numbers, you still get 499. Subtract that 499 from 585. And that's going to equal to 86. Yep, 86. And I'm going to put this color, I want to put this in orange. Okay. And now we can answer the final question. How many had exactly 2 of the 3 risk factors? Put that in a different color. me put in this light blue. Exactly 2 of the 3 risk factors. So that means they had high blood pressure and high cholesterol, but do not have smoking. So I'm going to go over here. And if you notice, that is 159. This part is exactly 2 of the 3 categories. Or the survivor had high cholesterol, they smoked, but did not have high blood pressure, which is 23, excuse me. 2 of the 3 categories, which is right here. Or the survivor had high blood pressure and they smoked, but did not have high cholesterol, which is this 86 that is right here. These 3 numbers have exactly 2 of the 3 risk factors. And when I add those together, we get a total of 268. And that is the answers to A, B, and C. Bring my 86 a little bit better. And that is it to the video. So this one's a little bit different, more specifics, so more filling in. But the key is to remember, when it comes to a question like this, if they have 2 of the 3 categories, but exclude the third one, you can directly plug it in. But if the third one is not excluded, if it says, for example, how many had high blood pressure and smoking, that also includes the middle, because the middle includes high blood pressure and smoking. That is general, which means you must have a middle value to subtract from. All right, guys, that's it to the video. Hopefully this makes sense. Hopefully you read the PDF solutions. And I'll catch you. Well, this is it. This is the last video of this lecture. All right, then. Take care. Take care.